Today we will focus on the Waste Quadrant Working Groups initiatives, an initiative that has the CLI's 18 municipalities and 12 First Nations working together to find solutions on shared waste management issues. Today I'm going to be interviewing Mike Fernandes from StrategyMakers, who's helped facilitate discussions between Waste Quadrant Working Groups communities.
What the Waste Quadrant Working Group does is it provides a framework for collaboration between communities that are either adjacent or neighboring or nearby, where you can kind of start talking about practical solutions to these problems at a local level. You also bring in the First Nations and the municipalities, two different voices that have kind of coexisted for a long time and really need to spend more time together, building relationships and looking for small practical wins on that. And I think that this project really helps with that. That's been my observation. There was an agreement that eliminating burning of wood waste was a real high potential, high priority thing that they could start on. Again, as a starting small step towards broader discussions on organic waste management and different things like that. The idea was to evaluate what is existing now, what can be done with wood waste as opposed to burning it, fill in some of the information gaps because there's not a lot of data and information around wood waste, and communities really needed some of that initial data to be able to make decisions, and then set the stage for a regional wood waste chipping service. So what we did was we conducted research, we consulted with the communities, we looked at the industry and the market players here in Manitoba, people who are providing that service, and then we ended up doing a technical briefing note to the group, so that interested Waste Quadrant Working Group communities could have that as information base for decisions to move forward. Wood waste is a problem for communities in Manitoba. There's lots of it. So we did find out that much of this wood that's being handled as waste right now, it's heavy in nutrients, it's rich in nutrients, and it could be diverted to much more sustainable and effective uses. So it fits very nicely with the concept of circular economy. It provides all kinds of opportunities for that. We were able to confirm that viable options exist. There are people who are doing that service and they are good at it, and they can do it here in Manitoba, and they're interested in working with the communities. One of the big things that came out of this, we established reasonable baselines of data. There was quite a bit of gap in information. How much wood waste is out there? How much can we expect to deal with as a community? What's the composition of wood waste? Because not all of it can be chipped, not all of it can be composted, not all of it can be used as biomass and energy recovery. So we provide, I think the technical briefing note and the process we went through with the communities, it established a baseline of information that wasn't there before. And that is a real key first step. We recommended that the communities that are ready, that they consider pursuing a pilot project. Start small, prove and validate how it can be done with communities that are very interested and want to get going, and then help them develop that study and that voice and that information, and then start to spread that amongst the quadrants. If communities can address this and come to a collaborative solution to wood waste, obviously there'll be less wood entering the waste stream, entering landfills, filling up community landfills, costing, every time you fill up a landfill costs quite a bit to build a new one to the proper environmental standards, if you can get the approval to do it. There could be more nutrients recovered. So all the clean wood, trees, shrubs, leaves is not necessarily wood waste, but all the nutrient rich materials in there, including clean lumber from new home building. We can chip that and recover those nutrients, whether in composting or soil additive, or reuse of some of that wood, or recovering the energy in biomass energy systems and diverting, having to use other less appropriate energy sources. So, better air quality. If we don't burn in our regions, we've all been through a summer now, or halfway through a summer of all kinds of forest fires everywhere. I understand The scientists are telling us we better get used to that, which is very unfortunate, but obviously the less we burn, the better our air quality around us. Soil health, landfill leachate will be reduced, all these different things, the environmental positives that come out of this. And if we can figure this out in the context of a circular economy, then you have, instead of spending money and economic resources on waste, you're spending it on bringing that material and putting it back into the system and into the economy. So better, cleaner jobs, like all those things are real potential benefits. To be able to find alternative solutions, to be able to put that material, those resources back into an economic system in a circular fashion is tremendous. And I think that aligns quite well with my understanding of the UN's goals and objectives. But I think that the project proves that taking the right steps can keep this moving forward in a positive way.
Chiefs from the Southern Chiefs Organization and the mayors and reeves of the Winnipeg Metropolitan Region are working together to bring different perspectives and knowledge systems to the table that will help their communities confront common challenges. Together, the Collaborative Leadership Initiative is working towards meeting the goal of SDG 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities. Together, these leaders are showing us how to collaborate for a more sustainable region.